we're going to make a beautiful limoncello tiramisu, which is a different take on your traditional coffee tiramisu. And I learned this beautiful recipe when I was in Bologna by a lovely lady who taught me this recipe. And I love limoncello, so it's a beautiful dessert for summer or for that special occasion. So there's a few parts to this dish, and we're actually going to start by making the syrup in which to dip the biscuits into, and just in a flat dish bowl, because we're going to be dipping the biscuits in. So we're going to be combining some water, a little bit of icing sugar, some lemon juice, and of course some limoncello. I like to buy the limoncello from Italy. However, you could get quite a good Australian brand as well. So we're going to put some of that in. If you don't want to put liqueur in, you could probably just stick to the lemon juice if you're making it for children. And we're just going to mix that together and let that combine. And we'll give that a stir just before dipping. And that's the lemon syrup that we're going to dip the biscuits in, which is a substitute for the coffee. So we're just going to put that aside now. And we're going to start making the cream. And with the cream, we've separated 2 eggs. So I've got the egg yolks in here and the egg whites in here. So I'm going to put the egg whites in a separate dish, because we're going to beat the egg whites to then fold into the cream mixture, which I will start doing now. And because it's only 2, it doesn't take long for the egg whites to froth up. We don't want it too stiff, just enough to bring it together. And I like to do the egg whites first, because then I don't have to clean the beaters. If you do the cream first, then you're going to have to wash the beaters before you then do the egg whites. Coming quite frothy. I'm really just looking for soft peaks. I think that will actually do. So that's what we're looking for, just soft peaks, and we're going to put that aside now. And we're going to get going on making the mascarpone cream filling. And in this filling, it's quite simple, and I like to just add some Italian mascarpone. So I find the Australian mascarpone has a tang to it, and I do like to seek out the Italian brand only because I feel that it has a better flavour. So see if you can get that in a grocer. It's hard to sometimes find it in a supermarket, but always worth a look. So I'm going to add my mascarpone cream. Now I've got 250 grams of cream here. However, you could double the recipe if you're going to make a big tray. So today I'm only going to do 1. We're going to add a little bit of caster sugar for sweetness, the 2 remaining egg yolks, a touch of vanilla. I think I put a bit too much there, and some lemon rind. And we're going to mix all of that together with the mixer, and that's why I said do the egg whites first, because then you don't have to clean the beaters. And we're going to just bring that together nicely. I'm going to start slowly. You could use a whisk if you wanted to. Mix that together. bring the mascarpone cheese down to room temperature. It's always important to have the mascarpone sitting in the fridge before using it, or else it might curdle. So we're done with the beaters now, so I'm just going to turn that off and put that aside. And make sure that's well combined. And it's just a lovely cream. And then to lighten it up, we're actually going to add the egg whites to that now. So I'm just going to start with just a little bit, just to lighten up the recipe first. I'm just going to fold it in a folding motion, and then I'm going to add the remaining. Recipe. And it's now coming together into a beautiful, soft, luscious cream. I don't like my tiramisu to be too heavy on the cream. You will find some tiramisu recipes that will just have the mascarpone and then some added beaten cream to it. I find that to be a little bit too rich, whereas with this recipe, I find it comes out to be quite light. So that's what the cream looks like. It's really quite light and luscious and fluffy. And now we're going to put that aside, and we're going to assemble the tiramisu. So now that we have all the elements together and pre-prepared, we are now going to assemble the tiramisu. Now this recipe that I'm giving you is for about 4 to 6 people. It could feed about 8, depending on how big the portion sizes are. I actually like to use a glass bowl so you can see sort of on the outside, but you can certainly use a tray. And if you are doubling this recipe, a tray is a wonderful way to present this dish and take it to a large family gathering. So I have here the pre-prepared limoncello syrup. I'm just giving it one last stir to make sure that the sugar has melted in properly. And what I've also organised are some beautiful savoiardi biscuits, which are the Italian ladyfinger biscuits, which usually you get them from a deli, but you might be able to find them at a supermarket. And when you open the packet, they've got these really nice ones. You can buy the really big ones, but I like to use the thin ones. The trick with the small ones is don't over dip the biscuits, because then they come out really soggy. You could of course make your own, but that can be quite fiddly. So I much prefer to just buy them. So I've got my biscuits ready to go. I've got the cream that we've just made and the dipping syrup, and we're going to get going. So the bottom of my dish is a little bit small, so we're going to break a couple of the biscuits up. And really when you're dipping, it's a very quick dip. You don't let them sit, and then you place them in the bowl like so. It's a very quick dip, because this is actually going to sit in the fridge overnight. So the cream will soften the biscuits quite quickly. So we're going to just put a little bit of cream just to get it going. And then we continue with the quick dipping process. And we really are, what we're doing here is just layering the biscuits. And because the bottom's quite small, I'm just breaking the biscuits in half just to allow it to fit in the bottom, like so. And then we're going to put another layer of cream, not too much because we want to make sure we've got enough for the whole dish. Now limoncello and strawberries go really well together, or raspberries is a nice combination. You could do blueberries as well. And now I'm actually going to use the whole biscuit. So here we go, quick dip. And we just continue this process until the whole bowl is full. And this is going to be the final layer. Now you could keep the final layer without the cream, but I like to put the cream on, just so it covers the whole tiramisu. It's so pretty when it starts to come together like this. There we go. So, or we could probably do one on the corner there. Just here, if we just squeeze it in, because I do like the biscuit part. It offsets the richness of the cream. And then we're going to finish off this dish with the final flourish of cream, which I'm going to scrape out like so. Such a beautiful dish. It's very light and perfect for summer, or perfect to finish off a rich meal. And then we're just going to make sure it's covered, but it doesn't need to look perfect at all, because we will garnish this before serving. So you don't want to put the garnish on while it's setting in the fridge. We will do that at the last minute. So this is what it looks like right now, and it's now ready for the fridge. So I would cover that with a bit of cling film, or you could just put it in and cover it with a plate and let that sit overnight at a minimum. Probably 2 nights. If you wanted to do it 2 days in advance, that's fine. And then when serving, I love to put some beautiful strawberries or raspberries on top and serve some on the side as well. If you want quite a different touch to it, you could actually sprinkle a little bit of coffee, grated coffee over the top, which adds another dimension of flavour. So here you go. This is my beautiful limoncello tiramisu.